Hello, my name is Andrzej Klimczuk. I represent Warsaw School of Economics in Poland. And at this presentation, I'm also representing Net4Age project funded by the Cost Association. And I'm going to tell you a few words about building inclusive environments for all ages with citizens. So it's a paper based on our preliminary studies related to the Net4Age project. So the plan of the presentation is that first I'm going to present you a little bit basis of the definitions, how we understand the smart, healthy, inclusive environments. Next, I will present you selected initiatives of the European Commission related to intergenerational programming and policies. And later on, I will tell you a few words about our cost action on smart, healthy, age-friendly environments. And next, I will present you a few examples of projects that are focused on empowering facilitators of smart, healthy, inclusive environments, and projects on empowering citizens to deal with health emergencies, as well as the case study of supporting older people voice by focus on the cities governance. And at the end, I will show you some recommendations and for the public policy based on the comparison of selected initiatives. So first of all, what are the smart, healthy, inclusive environments? So mostly in the scientific literature, you will find the notion of the age-friendly cities and communities, which mostly was invented in 2007-2008 by the United Nations World Health Organization in a guide about the age-friendly. And later on, the notion of the age-friendly environments was also introduced and promoted. In our case, we refer to these notions of the World Health Organization, but we also make it much more extended by focus also on the smartness and on the inclusiveness and health. So basically, the first drawing is from the World Health Organization, and the second one is from the SHAFE network, which I will tell you a little bit later. So in our understanding, the smart, healthier environments are not only focusing on the outdoor environments, transport, mobility, housing, social participation, social inclusion, civic engagement, communication and information and community and health services, but also how to combine these dimensions with new technologies such as the Internet of Things, smart health, big data, artificial intelligence, which are currently very high on the agenda, both in the European Union as well as outside. We also refer to the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, especially the goal number 3, which focus on promoting the healthy life and well-being for all ages, and the goal 11, which focus on making cities inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. And of course, this understanding focus on the local environments which we mostly live in. So basically, the environments and neighborhoods, let's say, are the places where we spend most of the time, and it will be beneficial for all of us if these environments will be very inclusive and open to everyone in all age, not only for the young people, but also mid-age and the old age, and through the whole life course, basically. And our governments, local, regional, national, and European, let's say, can focus on making these environments much more open and accessible by engaging and involving citizens. And in our study, we tried to focus on the levels of this engagement, how much the different initiatives are focusing on how to involve citizens into building or creating the smart, health, and inclusive environments. And I will present you selected initiatives. So first, at the European level, European Commission in 2012 announced the European Year of Activating and Solidarity Between Generations. And the funny thing is that most of us are still focusing on active aging, but we often forgot about the second part of this anniversary. That was the solidarity between generations, the intergenerational component. So we focus on that basically. And next, the European Commission created the European Innovative Partnership of Active and Healthy Aging, which basically was closed down at the end of the 2020. And now we have the new network, which is called Active and Healthy Living in the Digital World, which is based in the Futurium online platform of the European Commission, which I highly recommend you to see and to check, because there are various working groups, and one of it is focused directly on the age-friendly environments, and for example the second one is about the silver economy in health tech. Another initiative of the European Commission is the new European Bauhaus, which supports mostly the bottom-up approach to creating age-friendly environments. So on a different level, we have Net for Age-Friendly Cost Action, which was created based on the SHAFE network, which is a continuation from the EIP-AHA network of the European Commission. So the SHAFE is a stakeholders network on smart, healthy, age-friendly environments, and cost action is an extension of this idea and this network into much more research focused network, which also collaborates with the industrial and non-governmental partners. So we have quadruple helix idea. We are divided in 5 working groups. For example, group on our user-centered inclusive design, on health, on digital solutions, on sustainability, and a reference framework. So basically, the last group is especially interesting because we focus on how to create the support and coordination activities for all the initiatives on age-friendly environments on the local and regional level, and how to build the ecosystems around that idea through the whole Europe. So the next example are the projects that are focusing on empowerment of the facilitators of smart, healthy, inclusive environments. So basically it's the idea how to support the people who are training or supporting the older adults, mostly in selected places. So there are examples of the projects such as Hands of SHAFE, educational game Big, Bridge the Gap, design for all methods to create age-friendly housing. There is no way that I will present all of these projects here, so I highly recommend you to go to their websites. Most of those projects are still ongoing or they are just starting. So basically, the idea behind those projects, funded, supported by the European Erasmus Plus network program, is to choose the facilitators who may learn tools to support development of the houses and homes and neighborhoods with age-friendly features. So, for example, in a Bridge the Gap, the focus is on advocacy activities. In Desire project, the focus is on professional collaboration between people and citizens and the industry, and to promotion the digital, the design for all approach and training course. Another idea is the Step Up project, which focus directly on citizens in a health emergency situation such as the COVID pandemic. And at the end of the project, it's supposed to lead to create guidelines and insights on an early detection of such risks. And the next example are the example of the supporting older people voices, or how the older people can be directly involved in implementation and creation and implementation of the public policy on aging. So the example is the city of Hague in the Netherlands. And there are three features: the Older People's Council, the Knowledge Platform for all the citizens, and the Older People Panel, with the ongoing studies on the quality of life in Hague. And one of the examples is the action program implemented from 2020 to 2022. So basically, the monitoring and evaluation will be possible and available in the next few years. So we also created the comparison of these selected initiatives focused on the intergenerational programming and policies. These activities are focused on various levels. So we mostly focused how these initiatives are implementing the idea of society for all ages that is visible in United Nations and the European Commission activities from last 20 years. So in the comparison of the selected cases, we've focused on different levels. So, for example, the European Commission initiatives are on a European level, which is much more abstract, let's say. And the strength of this approach is that it's tried to combine both bottom-up and top-down approaches and activities to focus on aging policy and combine it with the digitalization. But the weakness on the second hand is that we still don't know how the monitoring and evaluation of the results, for example, in IAPAHA, is ongoing, and what are the planned activities in this field. The challenge is to scale up the best practices selected in these networks and to focus on a policy transfer. The second example, the cost action on net for age friendly, of course, it's hard to evaluate because it's ongoing only for 1 year so far. But the strength so far is that it's very interdisciplinary and it's very international network, which focus on guidelines, standards, and practices to be created in the field of age-friendly environments. The weakness is establishing the sustainability after the project period, so we have to focus on that during the next couple of years. And the challenge will be basically to create sustainable multi-level ecosystems of the quadruple helix, which means basically creating the cooperation between the different actors on a different levels. The projects, Erasmus Plus projects such as Hand on Shafe and Big and Bridge the Gap and Desire, mostly are focused on a local level and on creating the training packages. So they are focusing on a training and entrepreneurship. On a second hand, the weakness is that they have the limited scale, and the challenge is the further dissemination of these activities. The project Step Up is very similar to this, but it focuses on the empowerment of the citizens. So the challenge mostly is how to divide the information from the misinformation and disinformation about the pandemics, for example. And the last example, the senior-friendly the Hague. So the strength is of the project is the implementation of governance idea of age friendliness and the collaboration between all age groups in the city. The weakness is that we still don't know it will be sustainable or not. And the challenge is basically the involvement of various citizens from various socioeconomic groups. So basically, the wealthy people are much more active than the people who are poor. So basically that's it. We invite you to read our paper from the conference, and thank you for your attention, and we are looking forward to receive some questions, I hope. So thank you very much and goodbye.